How are you, dear students, and welcome back to our science class today. And our today's lesson will continue our topic about weathering and erosion. The last time we finished the part of weathering, and we mentioned that weathering is breaking down, and we understand what the difference between the chemical weathering and physical weathering. Our today's lesson, we're going to be talking about erosion. We finished the first part, which is weathering, and today we'll be talking about erosion. Erosion, let's start by the definition of erosion, and after this we'll understand this definition. Here we said that the erosion is the process of carrying away weathered bits of rock by gravity, water, wind, and ice. Erosion is the process of carrying away. The word of carrying away or means taking away. When you take something away, weathered bits of rock. You know that weathered bits of rock. It means the broken down parts of the rock. The small parts. After you break the rock, you have the small parts, which is weathered. Please let's start by watching this video. After that, we will explain everything. Here, before we start, look at this word weathering and the word erosion. This is the great difference between them. Breaking down or breaking, it means weathering. So weathering means breaking. Erosion, it means take away. So now we understand the difference between them. Weathering means breaking down, and here erosion means taking away. Here, let's watch this.
Can you give some more examples?
Yes, perfect. Right now, he is hitting this rock by this tool.
Can you give some more examples? Can you give some more examples?
Yes, now it's hitting.
Yes, you are causing weathering when you break the rock.
Now it's weathering.
Yes, the wind has taken away the broken parts, which is...
The first part, when he hit this by the hammer, it will be breaking, which is weathering. After this, look here.
Break the rock.
You'll see, now, when this, you know that the air comes from the fan, acts as a wind. When this wind carried this rock or takes away this rock, this is called erosion. Now let's see the difference between them again. We have here, when you start to hit the rock.
Oh yes.
Yes, it's weathering because it breaks the rock. When this rock flies away here, by the effect of the wind, we can call it erosion because it takes away this rock. Here.
You are causing weathering when you break the rock.
Yes, you are causing weathering when you break the rock. Now look at the effect of the wind.
Yes, the wind has taken away...
Perfect. The wind has taken away these bits of rock. When these bits of rock moves from this place to another place, we call this movement erosion. Look here.
Away the broken parts, which is erosion.
So I'm sorry for repeating this more time, but actually we have to understand by this example.
Examples?
Now?
Oh yes,
weathering.
You are causing weathering when you break the rock.
Perfect.
Yes, the wind has taken away the broken parts, which is erosion.
Yes, taking away the broken part, it's called erosion. Here.
Weathering and erosion cause many changes all around us. Look at these pictures. Mountains, rivers, and many more things keep changing their size and shape due to weathering and erosion.
Yes, by this we understand that all these changes can happen because of the effect of weathering and erosion. And we have a third word we mentioned before, is called deposition. Deposition. This word means when we start here by weathering. After this, we are making weathering. After this, when these small parts move, we call it erosion. When these small parts accumulate again and collected again in a certain place, we call it deposition, and we'll mention this after. Now we understand the meaning of erosion. Erosion is the process of carrying away. Carrying away means taking away, whether bits of rock by the effect of gravity, water, wind, and ice, whatever the effect. Okay? Now, let's move to the next part, deposition. Deposition, it means occurs. When will occur this deposition? Occurs when bits of weathered rock. Bits of weathered rock, it means small bits of broken rocks are carried away, and this is the most important part, dropped somewhere else to form new landform. The word drop somewhere else, it means collected together or accumulated in a specific area or a certain area to make a new landform. Let's see, in our today's quick session, we have two examples of deposition. We have the first one called delta here, and the second one is called sand dune. Let's start by delta. Here he says rivers deposit large amounts of material where they flow into the ocean. Now, when the river flows to the ocean and is moving to meet the ocean, it takes a large amount of materials. The deposited material form an area called delta. Teacher, you don't understand what the meaning of this word delta, we don't understand still. Okay, now let's imagine together. I have here the river, and the river moves until it meets the ocean. Here, the river meets the ocean. Look at these small particles. It's large amounts of materials, like here. River deposit large amounts of materials. When the river moves, it takes the large amount of these materials together and accumulate these materials right here. Look here. This is the basic ground or the main ground, but here the new part, which is formed from the accumulation of these small parts, when it moves to be here together, and after that it will accumulate and becomes higher and higher and appears on the surface like here and form new land like this here. I have here river and I have here ocean. Here the place where the end of the river meets the start of the ocean. Here I have this land. It comes from the accumulation like this here. This accumulation increase, and this deposition increase, and form new land called delta. Delta is a Latin word, not English word. It means a triangle. Here we have river and the ocean, and finally it will form the delta because of the accumulation or deposition. Deposition means collecting all these materials together, like sand, sediment, and become land like this. Here I have another example for this accumulation, but before we move, I want you to see from your science book the shape of delta. I have here river, and these small parts act as delta, new formed lands. We have another example which called sand dunes. We have here in desert and near beaches, wind moves grains. Do you know the grain of sand? Yes, wind moves grain of sand into mound. Mound means a little bit higher ground, but made of sand basically. Wind may move a sand dune or change its size and shape. We have different sizes and shapes of sand dunes, but actually now we have to imagine what are sand dunes. When you're moving in the desert, you find a little bit raised parts or higher parts like these. these higher parts, we can call it sand dunes. It comes from the accumulation or from deposition. Deposition means collecting because of the effect of wind. Here, deposition of the sand together, they become like a high part. This high part, which called sand dune. This is our today's session, but before we finish our session, we have to remember the 3 words. The first word, it's called weathering. Weathering means breaking the rocks. When these broken rocks move from its place because of the effect of wind, water, ice, whatever the effect, but move, we can call it, who can tell me? Yes, erosion. After the movement, they collect it again in a new land and make a new landform. We can call this deposition. They are the most important 3 scientific terms in our session. I wish you understand something from me. I wish you all the best of luck, and I wish to be in good health. Thanks so much for watching this video. I wish you all the best of luck. Thanks so much.